Welcome to the Defense and Aerospace Report. I'm Vago Muradian here in Northern Virginia, where we're covering the Surface Navy Association's 30th Annual Conference and Trade Show. Our coverage here is sponsored by Leonardo DRS, and we're here at the Northrop Grumman stand to talk to Kevin Knowles, who is the Director of Business Development at Northrop Grumman Mission Systems. You're working LCS programs. Sir, bring us up to speed on some of the things you guys are doing. You know, you're doing you're doing a surface warfare package for the ships, and you're also doing mine countermeasures. That's a hot thing. We've talked to some of the other companies here. Talk to us a little bit about your surface warfare package.
So Northrop Grumman won the contract to do the mission package integration back in 2006, so we've been involved now for 12 years. Last March we won the follow-on contract, so now the program is called Design, Engineering, Production, and Sustainment. And so basically what we're trying to do is move from the design phase of the program for mission packages into production and get it out to the fleet for sustainment. So the focus of our program has changed obviously from 12 years ago, and so now we're in production on guns. We're about to go to IOT&E, the initial operational test and evaluation, on the Hellfire surface-to-surface missile module. We expect that test to happen sometime around late spring, early summer, and then we'll go into production hopefully before the end of the year. On the guns, we have 8 ship sets out, deployed to the fleet, and we have an order right now for another 3 sets of guns. So the program's moving along, at least for surface warfare. On the MCM program, the Navy is bringing along a replacement for our RMMV, the CUSV, the Common Unmanned Surface Vessel. That will tow the Q-20, and they're actually now beginning to look at potentially putting other weapon systems to support the surface warfare package on that vehicle.
Let me ask you a little bit about the gun before we move on to the mine module. Talk to us a little bit about the gun, as well as the launcher assembly you guys also have here. Talk to us a little bit about a little greater detail in terms of caliber and capabilities that's going to add to the ships.
So the gun actually comes from a Marine Corps program, and so on LCS we borrow willingly from other programs of records. So the nice thing about the gun is GD Land Systems has been building it for about 10 years now.
It was on the expeditionary fighting vehicle that is no more.
Yep, but so they've worked out all of the early teething issues, and so the gun is very reliable. In the recent Coronado deployment in Singapore, we had essentially 100% dispatch availability. So every time the ship left, it was ready. So it's a great close-in weapon designed primarily to protect the ship against swarming boats, and so we should have enough for the deployed fleet for the foreseeable future. The missile module is that kind of reach out and touch someone further away. It's an actual great program for the Navy because the Army has a huge inventory of these Hellfire missiles. This is the first time they've ever been launched vertically, and so we've been working with the Warfare Center in Dahlgren. They actually built the EDM model that we have on exhibit here, but we expect to begin the production design and hopefully get into production later this year after we go through the test at sea testing.
And now to the mine module, which is a little bit of a minefield in part because there are so many decisions. That's Kevin's line, not mine, but in part because of where the Navy is in its thinking process. Bring us up to speed in as much as you can on where we are on that and your guys' role in it.
So essentially, the Navy provides us the MCM modules as government furnished equipment. And so really our role is to figure out how do we get that onto the ship, how do we support it, does it go in a container or a cradle, and so that's really where our contribution to the program comes in.
And MCM is mine countermeasures for the few people out there who don't know what that is.
Thank you. It's acronym soup. So that's where we are right now. There's going to be a test now for the Common Unmanned Surface Vessel towing the Q-20. which is a volume mine hunting system. Right now, we're also beginning to get involved in another program called Knife Fish, which will look for buried mines buried in the seabed. So there are a couple other programs. Cobra is a system, a gimbal that will fly on the Fire Scout, look for mines on the beach. And so all of that material is beginning to go through test. And so early in the next decade, we should be ready to go to sea with that.
And Fire Scout, of course, another successful Northrop Grumman program. Kevin, thanks very much. Best of luck with the program and looking forward to staying in touch.
Great. Thank you.